Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples for his younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Shah. What I want to get into this morning, is being spiritually, proactive, okay, which the scriptures, they promote, all right, being active, all right, being active in the spirit first and foremost, man, all right, because as we, have an opportunity, like this is a privilege, to be able to teach this word, to have this understanding, to be in the camp, like this thing is a privilege, man, to have, the Holy Spirit, all right, to be able to read and get revelation, like all these things are privileges, from Yahweh Shema Shah. These are gifts, these are blessings, you know, and that's why we gotta really be proactive with the gift, given unto us by Yahweh Shema Shah. You know? So when you go to the word proactive, all right, you get this word proactive. It says creating or controlling a situation by causing something to happen rather than responding to it after it has happened. Yeah. Someone is proactive, is using, all right, wisdom, okay, and using foresight, because that's how you go to that scripture. Matter of fact, let's get it. Let's get that in Proverbs 22. All right, this Proverbs 22 and 3. It says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil, okay, and hideth himself, but the simple pass on or are punished. So you see, that's being proactive. The prudent man foreseeth the evil. We know what times we in. We know what the Lord is about to bring to the earth. Okay, we know the Lord is angry at this current society, man. So what do? We hide ourselves in faith and obedience, man. Okay, that's being proactive in the spirit. You see, and that's what the Lord is requiring of His men, to be proactive in the spirit. We go from being on the milk, you know, learning who we are, pretty much being the mockingbird of the apostles and elders. And then as we grow and mature in the faith, we start to become proactive in things, man. You know, start making moves based on wisdom, okay? Start being proactive in every facet, man, of our life, man, because at the end of the day, it's all about being freed up as much as possible to do this work, man. Constantly putting off this world more and more and be freed up to do the work, man. That's what this thing is about. Okay? So when you go here to Proverbs, the 6th chapter, okay? Proverbs 6 and 6, it says, go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. And what's one thing about an ant? An ant is extremely consistent. Extremely consistent. An ant is extremely resilient. Okay? You can go knock down the ant bed, okay, this morning. Let's say it's 7:23 over here. You knock down the ant bed at 7:23 in the morning. All right. The next day you go out there at 7:23, it's gonna be built back up. Like the ant has a drive that's crazy, consistency that's crazy, teamwork crazy. Okay. So when King Solomon is saying study the ant, we really have to consider, okay, what's the characteristics of an ant? What does an ant do? And the ant is extremely proactive, man. Okay? All right, and it says, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, which means no one has to stand over their shoulder and tell them to do this, do that, has to tell them every move to make. Nah, the ant they get to it. You see? Each ant understands this responsibility and they get to it. Okay? And it says, provided her meat in the summer and gathered her food in the harvest. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard, when wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? You know? So the scripture is like, look, the scripture is against being a sluggard, being lazy, you know, that bare minimum spirit. The scripture is against that, man. Okay, because we all got our lots and we all got our portions, but we all should be increasing and growing within our lot and within our portion, man. Okay? The truth is not stagnant. This word is not stagnant. Prophecy is always happening. Things are always changing. We're always getting closer and closer to that moment. And the closer we get to the end, the more that's required of each of us, man. The more that's required of each brother. To where we gotta be proactive in our situations, man. Spiritually first. Okay, getting into these things, getting into the research, understanding what's going on, man. Watching, you know, having a clear understanding of what's going on, man. You see, and it says, you read in NLT, read verse 10 and said, yet a little sleep, a little slumber, and a little folding of the hands to sleep. And you read in the NLT, it says a little extra sleep, a little more slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest. Yeah, that uh, 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 putting things off, that procrastinating spirit, because this flesh want to chill, and I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. I know this flesh wants to chill. Okay, the flesh wants to do the bare minimum in the spirit. The flesh really don't want to have anything to do in the spirit. That's why the Apostle Paul said that the spirit and the flesh war off against each other. The spirit is willing. Yeah, I was trying to say that the spirit is willing. The flesh is weak. Okay, and that's why we really got to constantly overcome the flesh, man. Overcome the emotion. Okay, because being a slugger is a habit. It's nothing but a learned habit, man. Okay, just like being proactive is a learned habit. All right, verse 11. So shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man. Okay, so being a slugger only breeds poverty, and not just physical poverty, but spiritual poverty, man. Because like I said, I've been on dry spells, man, not doing, not being disciplined and doing what I need to do and researching and studying and reading and I've been undisciplined in that before, man, and I became impoverished. I started to become impoverished, man. Okay, in the spirit, dry, really not having nothing to add at camp, having no precepts. His brother speaking, man, dry. Okay, I was becoming spiritually impoverished, man. Okay, because that's what being a slugger produces. It produces poverty. It produces a low yield. You know, like activity produces resources, man, in the spirit and in the physical, and it's all through the favor of Yahweh Shem Shai, because the Lord, He loves to see His men in motion. He loves to see His men being active, man, and He blesses that. Okay. So reading it again, it says, so shall thy poverty come, all right, as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man. Or you reading the NLT, then poverty will pounce on you like a bandit. Scarcity will attack you like an armed robber. You know? So as men, we really gotta be proactive in our situation. And the Lord gonna bless it how He gonna bless it. Because at the end of the day, we all on Yahweh Shema Shai's terms. Okay? But nothing is gonna come to us in anything just sitting here, man, and I'm gonna just be a good brother and things gonna happen. No, you gotta go make a move or two, man. First in the spirit. You gotta make spiritual moves. There's a lot of times, researching this thing and then this will pop up. Researching that thing, then that'll pop up. Going down them rabbit holes, man, and researching, man. You get all them nuggets. But it started with the process. It started with, the initial, okay, mindset. Okay, I'm finna do this. I don't care what's I gotta do next. I'm finna make time for this. You know, I'm finna make time for this. You see, because that discipline and that fear kicks in because it's easy to be excited. You have an idea and you be excited about it. But the discipline come in through that consistent execution of something, man. You know, let's go from there. Let's get Proverbs 10:4. All right, Proverbs 10:4 says, "He becoming poor that dealeth with a slack hand." Okay, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. He becoming poor that dealeth with a slack hand, that bare minimum spirit. You know, you're gonna produce you're gonna yield the bare minimum. Okay, because one thing about it, it's about planting seeds. Because you know, I can plant a brother if a brother only plant if I only plant 10 seeds, okay, then my possibility is only to yield 10 fruit. You know, and it might be low. It might be 6, 7. All of them might don't break through. But if I'm sowing 300 seed, well, I have a ceiling now of 300 to yield 300. Even if don't nothing but 150, 200 breakthrough. You see, and that's what this thing is about. Like as a man, I'm learning, like, being active, being in motion, and being on a purpose. Constantly. And then you have your time of rest. But see, you gotta look at the way how the Lord moves. Even with the beginning, because it said He worked 6 days and He rested one. Now we know that's talking about 1,000-year increments, okay? But you look at the rest compared to the work. The work far outweighs the rest. Rest is necessary, so it lets you know it's necessary, okay? But their work was always the main entree. Was their work, being active, creating. You see, so the work to rest ratio was 6 to 1. You see, all right, yeah, because we in the war. Because we in the war, Louis. We in the war to keep our health intact. We in the war to keep our diet intact. We in the war for energy. We in the war in every way, man. But it's a war. But we gotta fight. We gotta be proactive and fight. You know. And it says, um, he becoming poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. He that gathereth in summer is a wise son, but he that sleepeth in harvest is a son that causes shame. And we in the time of harvest, man. You know, we can't be, slack-handed in these times because we in the time of harvest, man. What did Yahushua say? He made that analogy. Okay, Yahushua, when you go to the book of Matthew, chapter 9, all right, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 9, verse 36. It says, "But when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion on them because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd." Okay? He's saying, Jake, no leadership, no guide. Okay? So it said he had compassion on them. Then said he unto his disciples, "The harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few." The harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. And see, he said the laborers, man, there's a labor that goes into this thing, man. There's a true labor before, we can hit the record button. There's a labor, there's a toiling that goes into this thing, man. All right. Pray you therefore the Lord of the harvest that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. Okay. The ministry needs what? Laborers, man. Okay. Proactive men in the spirit that's gonna go get it. You see, that's gonna get up and go get it, man. You see, don't nothing come to a waiter. Don't nothing come to your fingers crossed just hoping like, nah, ain't gonna be in motion. And the Lord gonna bless that motion. Okay, because it's gonna be through him, it ain't gonna be through our acts alone. Okay, it's gonna be the Lord blessing our faith, because faith, okay, is shown in what works. You see, that's why when you go from there, let's get Proverbs 13:4. And then we're gonna go to the examples on how, the apostles, they all had that same mindset, man. Being proactive, man, being active in this ministry, man. And then that spills over into our day to day, man, being proactive in that way, man. You know, let's go to Proverbs uh, 13:4. All right, it says Proverbs 13:4. The soul of the sluggard desireth and have nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. Yeah, the soul of the sluggard desire and have nothing. Because the people who put in my experience, in life, I find that the people that want the most, all right, are willing to do the less work to get it. Niggas sit around, at the job, talk about what they want all day, but a nigga won't work 1 hour overtime. All right, this ain't uh saying that brothers go work themselves crazy at work. You know, this ain't what this is saying, but it all goes back to what a mindset. Because we in the time now, we have wisdom where we can make work smarter and be more efficient. But that takes being proactive, okay, and researching and learning things. All right, when it comes to that field. But overall, just in general, men and women that want the most things are willing to work the less for it. They don't want to put in their work to get it. They just sit around and spew out fantasies of what they want. Okay? But if somebody really want it, they not gonna talk much. If somebody really wants something, they not gonna talk much. They gonna get up and go get it, man. If you really want something, your talking gonna be a minimum. You gonna be action oriented, man, and you gonna go get it. If you really want something, man, you know. So reading NLT, Proverbs 13:4, lazy people want much but get little. But those who work hard will prosper. Okay? Ain't no shortcuts around it, man. That labor, that hard work, and that discipline, that dedication, it gotta be there. You can't take that out the recipe. Suffering. You can't take that out the recipe of greatness, man. It's there. And we gotta take hold of it, man. All right? Now let's go to dealing with the apostles. All right, and deal with Apostle Paul. 2 Corinthians 9:6. It says, "But this I say, he that which soweth sparingly shall reap also sparingly, and he which soweth bountifully shall reap bountifully." Man, okay. So you put out sparingly, you're gonna bring in sparingly. Okay, ain't no shortcuts, ain't no gimmicks. Okay, get rich quick schemes in the spirit. Like, nah, man, it's like you put out. Okay, you put out. All right, and you get back what you put out. That's just how it works. Ain't like I say, ain't no shortcuts, man. You gotta deal with the toil and the strife that come with it. You see the ups, the downs, the bad, the fall offs, the falling on your face, the getting back up, all that come with it, man. Okay? Losing everything, coming back, losing again, come back, increase, it all comes with it, man. You see? Let's go from there. Let's get this in this is let me see if I can find them. Let's get that in 1 Corinthians 15. All right, this 1 Corinthians 15 and 58. It said, "Therefore, my brethren beloved, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know that your labor is not in vain. Okay? Steadfast, unmovable, always abounding. Now let's get this word abounding. Okay? Because the more we get into this thing, the more we believe, the more faith we have, the more no one can tell us nothing, man. This is what making us unmovable, man. Abide in this labor, man. This is making us unmovable, man. And the more we get into this word, the less everything around, the less we care about all these things around us, man. We handle our responsibility, we handle our duties, okay? But our passion, our drive is for this only, man. Okay? This is what our passion and our drive is, man. Everything else around us starts to fade in the background and we get single focus, we get that hyper focus on this, man. Okay? So, um, let's get that word abounding. All right, this that word abounding in the Greek. 1052. Perisuo. 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 It says to exceed a fixed number or measure, to be left over above a certain number or measure. Okay, to exceed a fixed number. You know, that's why even when working out, they say you're gonna do 50 push-ups. Okay, well you get to that 50, oh you still got 5 more wins. Knock out 5 more. You know, like that's and then it said this is a mindset. You see, that mindset to always want to go over, to be abounding in this thing, man. Okay? Hey, the scriptures say, hey, we can never go hard enough. Okay? Since it was our mind to go astray, seek the Lord 10 times more. Okay? It says, um, to exist or be had in abundance of things which come in abundance or overflows unto one, something falls to the lot of one in a large measure. Okay? To exceed more than, okay? To exceed, you see? To make abundant or excellent. All right? And the main thing is going beyond a fixed number. You know? Going beyond that fixed measure. And that's, as men, that's how we constantly push ourselves to the limit and test ourselves, man. No growth comes from being comfortable, man. All right, from going through that same, ritual, your daily ritual. Like, nah, sometimes, hey, you gotta crank it, you gotta turn the knob up, man. Okay? Just on that treadmill, you gotta push that incline up a little more, man. you know? You gotta push that speed up a little more, man. See what we can do. You know? Constantly pushing the limits in this thing, man. All right? And that's the mindset of a conqueror, man. Like a conqueror, you study those ancient conquerors, man. You know, they was always one thing about it. Cause see, when you start studying different, conquerors, what you start to see is the similarities between, these different conquerors, man. Okay. And one thing about it, they all would always push the limits. They always took a gamble on, the unknown, what other generals wouldn't do, what other kings wouldn't do. Okay. They would always push the limit. You see, they will always do the unexpected, man, and that's what made them. That's what set them apart, man. Is that they was always willing to do what no one else wanted to try. Okay, they was always pushing themselves to the limit. You see, they refuse. Okay, to take the L. If it came, it came. Okay, but they was going to exact everything that they had in each scenario they was in. They always went all out. Okay, and then they utilized wisdom as well. And then a lot of you read the history. Prophecy was aiding them, and prophecy is aiding us. When it was time for Esau to come in power, them generals that was conquering, okay, mimic the conqueror, okay, them conquistadors, all right, them niggas was wicked, all right, but them niggas had a crazy drive, man, because prophecy was aiding them niggas, man. You know, just like now, prophecy is aiding us, because it's time for us to come in, Okay, our rulership is at the doorstep. So prophecy is at our backs, man. Okay, let's go from there. All right, what did the Apostle Peter? You go Second Peter chapter 2. No, Second Peter chapter 1. All right, Second Peter 1:5, it says, besides this, giving all diligence, add to faith, add to your faith virtue, and to your virtue knowledge, and to knowledge temperance. Okay, you see that? And how can we, instead of giving diligence, we're gonna go into that word, add to your faith what we believe, virtue, okay, which is moral excellence, all right, being integrity, okay. It says, and to virtue knowledge. And how do we add knowledge, man? We got a label for that knowledge, man. Okay? The scriptures, I tell you, hey, you gotta put wisdom on like the chains of feather. You see? You gotta be locked in. It says into knowledge, temperance, okay, which is what? Balance, okay? Self-control, restraint, all right? Patience, and to temperance, patience, and to patience, godliness, and to godliness, brotherly kindness, and to brotherly kindness, charity, and to brotherly kindness, charity, man, that giving spirit. Because as we obtain things in this society, first in the spirit, we give it right back to the body. And as we obtain, if we obtain things in the practical, we still are willing to give it what to the body. Okay, have a mindset to give it right back to the body. Give things back to the body, man. You know? So it's making us well rounded. You see? And godliness, brotherly kindness, and brotherly kindness, charity. And that's another thing, the more we increase, we don't become an asshole or look down to brothers. We here to exhort brothers, man. You know? We here to exhort brothers, man, and push brothers. You see? As we push ourselves, man, as we're being pushed, man. You see? Verse 8, it said, for if these things be in you and abound, they make you that ye shall neither be barren nor unfruitful in the knowledge of our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. You see that? These things are producing. Labor produces, man. Okay? Labor put in yields a certain output, man. And see, as we are proactive in the spirit, okay, laboring and toiling in the spirit is yielding, okay, fruits. You see? And it says, but he that lacketh these things is blind and cannot see afar off. Remember that the prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, and have forgotten that he was purged from his old sins. Yeah, see, we've been brought with a price. Yahweh Shai purchased us, man. And he didn't purchase us for us to chill and do the bare minimum and, drag our feet in this thing. Nah, he purchased us to be proactive in the spirit, man, to go get it. He made an investment, man. And he expects a return. Okay? And it says, wherefore the brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, you shall never fail. Okay? And diligence is always in in the recipe, man. All right, and that word diligent in Greek.
Strong's G 4704. Spoudazo.
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 Okay, it says to hasten, to make haste, to exert oneself, endeavor, give diligence. Okay, to exert oneself. You see? To exert oneself in this thing, man. All right? The scriptures promote that, man. Exerting ourselves, man, like really hard body, man. Each brother within their own portion. Get that word exert. All right, exert. It says apply or bring to bear. All right, a force, influence, or quality. Okay, make a physical or mental effort. You see, that's what this thing is about. A constant effort, man. A constant effort and moving forward. You see. go to the strong definition. It says to use speed, i.e., to make effort, to be prompt or earnest, to do diligence, to be diligent, forward, endeavor, labor, or study. Okay? So the scripture promote that. You see? Let's go to the book of James. This is the book of James, chapter 2. All right, and 14. It said, what do it profit, my brethren, though a man say he have faith and have not works? Can faith save him? If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, as a matter of fact, let me reach on this point. It says, what doth it profit, my brethren, though a man may say he have faith and have not works? Can faith save him? So you read this in the NLT. What good is it, brothers, all right, if you say you have faith but don't show it by your actions? Can that kind of faith save anyone? So faith is shown by actions. When you really believe something, there's an action behind it. Okay? When you really believe something, there's an action behind it. If you really believe you can lose weight, there's action behind it. If you really believe you can gain muscle, there's action behind it. If you really believe you can start a particular business, there's going to be action behind it. King David had faith that he could beat Goliath. And what did he do? He put that action behind it. Okay? That's the type of faith, okay, that the Lord requires, that faith coupled with that action, man. Okay? If a brother or sister be naked or destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be ye warned and filled, notwithstanding you give them not those things which are needful to the body, what doeth it profit? Yeah, because you have faith, but then you start taking the practical steps based on faith, a plan of action, okay, based on faith. Now, the Lord, he can, we can have a plan of action, and the Lord will want it to be done another way, and that's what's going to be done. But we have to start acting, and then the Lord will modify our actions how He wanted it to be. As we start acting, we might not, have the plan that the Lord wants, but we're moving towards that way, and He starts modifying our plan of action to what He wants. Okay? It's all about the will of Yahweh Shema Shai. It's not going to be by us just, strategizing our way out of every situation, but that faith to know that I'm coming up with a strategy and the Lord gonna guide me through this. He gonna aid me through this, man. Okay? It says, even so faith, if it have not works, it being dead alone. Yeah, because it's just an idea. When Christians say they have faith, faith in what? They don't know what the kingdom is. They don't know about World War. They don't know about prophecy. They don't know what's going on. Faith in what? They don't understand nukes. That hey, we have faith that we're gonna be delivered from nukes. They don't know what that is. They faith in what? Okay, because you can have all these ideas and be inspired and be excited. As we can be excited as we talk about these plans. Okay, as we talk about our wants with no plan of action. So then those ideas eventually are dead. You can talk about the same thing every day, but with no action, those things become dead. It's just an idea, just a thought. Okay? And I say I'm talking from experience, man. Just always talking about something but putting no action in it. Like, nah, man, you gotta put action in it, man. You gotta take the losses that come with it. You see? You gotta learn, but that's where that patience comes in, man. You see? And it says, yeah, a man may say, thou hast faith and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. Okay? So the token of someone's belief is in their action, man. The tokens of belief is in action. Verse 19, thou believest that there is one power, thou do as well. The devils also believe and tremble. Okay? But without now, O vain man, their faith, but without, but with But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? Okay? Faith without works is dead. You see? So it has to be a work behind it, man. You know? And that's the ultimate showcase of faith. Look at our forefathers, man. Abraham, he was willing to put action behind his faith. You see, Jacob wrestled an angel all night. He put action behind his faith. You see? Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah, they put action behind their faith, man. You know? And you go here to we end it here. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9. All right, 2nd Ezra 9 and 6. It says, even so the times also the highest have plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. And we're seeing the effects and signs of the end. And every one that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed. Okay? So everyone shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed. You know, because faith produces works. You know? So that's the point. Just want to put that out there, man, being proactive in the spirit. You know? And then the Lord blesses that, man. You know, the Lord blesses activity. You know, something I've learned. You see? So Lord will you brothers. All right, and you few sisters were edified once again. I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great example to our younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful. Shalom.